day 8, guys. It's day 8, guys. Here we go. 12 days of Christmas movies. 8 days. Back to back. Non-stop. No resting. Let's go. So the movie we're going to do today is one that I always watch every year, so I shouldn't miss a thing. Hopefully. So, we're going to be talking about the Griswolds today. And while talking about the Griswolds, I will be talking about a movie that I might do a review on because it's trash. It's garbage, and I really don't know why they even made it. But let's talk about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Now, Chevy Chase, he's a jerk, just like Johnny Depp. Jerk, loser, scumbag, scrub, ugly. How'd you get a wife that looks like that? But whatever. He is not a Mary Stu because he actually struggles in life and actually has to overcome things, and he's just not a Mary Stu. He's just ugly and a jerk in real life. But hey, funny guys can't all be Robin Williams. Can't all be good. But Robin Williams did have a bad side, but we're not here to talk about Robin Williams. We're here to talk about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So let's start. The Griswolds are a family that you kind of look at, for the most part, in like 3+ movies. They go on different vacations. They went to Wally World, which was like Disney World. And the run-on gag with National Lampoon's, like with all the vacation movies, is Rusty and Audrey are always different. I would be mad personally because it's just like, how Chevy Chase and the mom gonna be still there, but I'm not gonna get my money. Like in Christmas Vacation, Rusty and Audrey are played respectfully by dude who played once called DJ, then called what's that boy's name? No, I think his name was Kevin. I can't remember what his name was, but they changed his name like 3 times on Roseanne. It was Darlene's boyfriend for the most part, and then he cheated on her and then was with Blue and the Connors. I don't know his name right now at this moment. I just got up. But Audrey is played by, a Winona Ryder type, Molly Ringwald type. I can't remember her name either. But look it up. Yeah, they're 2 good actors and actresses. And I think they are the better Audrey and Rusty. The one from Wally World Vacation or whatever, and I think Las Vegas has to be their worst movie. It's just raunch for no reason. They always make it, I don't know, it's just bad. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is the best vacation movie. And then there's The Vacation. I don't know if it's called The Vacation, but it's when Rusty gets older and was with his family, and he's played by that guy from The Office who comes in later and tries to be Steve Carell and every single person inside the office all at once, and he's not funny. He's got piano teeth. I really don't know his name. His head looks like a can of yams. I really don't know his name, but from that description, y'all know who he is. That movie is terrible. I can't sit and watch it for a whole, hour and change, but as from what I've seen, it's just super bad. Super bad. Super bad is better than that movie. And super bad is kind of like one of those movies where it's just, disgusting for no reason. Another raunch movie. But I'm getting off the topic. So, the Griswolds are having Christmas. They go get a Christmas tree. They go out in the middle of nowhere. Before they get out in the middle of nowhere, they have a issue with the truck that they call back when it's Rusty's turn to take his family on vacation, and it's like, okay, dude, like, please make your own stuff. Like, I have been constantly, if you're going to talk about things that are continuously talked about, for example, Pandora's Box, King Arthur, make it good. Merlin did a good job with the King Arthur Arthurian lore rendition. There are 30 billion renditions of King Arthur, and nobody has ever done it where Merlin was a young man and Arthur was a prince, and he was dumb and he was oblivious, but he was strong with a decent heart. No one's done it like that. Cursed tried to pull some maybe things are different type of situation, but it just didn't work out, and it's never going to work out. And if they have a season 2, I will vomit. But yeah, I digress. So they go out and get the tree. It's huge. They didn't bring anything to... Basically, Chevy Chase's life is basically everything's wrong and horrible. He's got a great looking wife, a great looking family. He's got, like, everything he could ever ask for, but he always has to one up, like, the world. He always has to, like, get the best. Everyone has to have the best time, and he does it at the expense of his family. It's insane. They go out in the middle of nowhere while they freeze to get some big old huge tree that's not going to fit in their house. And they didn't even bring anything out to cut it. They rip it. It's hilarious. Everything, this movie is so hilarious. Like, y'all gotta watch it. Every gag hits. Even their two neighbors that are like prissy and rich but miserable. And there's a lot of classism. There's a lot of classism in here. Like, there's a lot to break down having to do with different experiences based on how much money you have. Because the whole situation of this movie is this guy, like Chevy Chase, is waiting for his Christmas bonus that's not coming. So, they come home with the tree, they bust it out, and it's gross and huge, and it's got a lot of sap. And they go to sleep and all that, and the people come for their, like, everyone's mom and dad, her mom and dad, his mom and dad, the grandparents, like, and then this dude, their cousin Eddie, pops beatbox into the picture like he did in every other movie, for the most part. And his redneck, okay, so they don't got a dime to their name. He doesn't have a job because he's holding out for a manager position and no field. He's like dumb and he lives in a trailer, and basically that is that. So you've got his family's aspect where his kids don't think Santa Claus is coming because since his parents can't afford anything, they don't get presents. And there was a movie where there was more than 2 kids. I can't remember which one it was, but straight up, there's just 2 kids in this movie, I guess. But I could have sworn he had like 1,000 everywhere because they were out in the middle of nowhere and they were like living out in the trailer, and there was like 50 kids when they went to their house, and they were like cleaning up snakes. And one of his daughters was talking about how her dad said she kissed good or something. It's just like, what? Y'all put that in here? But that's not this one. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is the most tame when it comes to adult. That's not humor. That's not humorous. That's gross. But adult content, I guess. It's the most family friendly one because I guess it's about Christmas. Las Vegas one is not family friendly. Wally World is borderline, like, not, but I guess yes. Europe Vacation is the second worst, I think, next to Las Vegas, because Europe, they make the Audrey a simp, and I don't like, it's interesting that guys are like, oh my goodness, simps are bad, you shouldn't do the simp thing, but in cinema, most simps are women. Like, art imitates life, life imitates art. Honestly, that's why so many women simps are out there. Because y'all put it on display for everyone. Misa Amane, Sally from A Nightmare Before Christmas, Audrey. It's really pathetic. I can't think of a single guy simp. Maybe Mordecai, but he lives a good life. Like, he gets what he wants in the end. Simping, when a woman does it, she loses everything. If a guy simps, he loses like what? A couple dollars, maybe? And then he still has a wife on the side. Get out of here. I digress. So, their family dynamic is poor. The Griswolds are basically nice, and he has a job, and he's like writing and betting on his bonus because he expects it, and they didn't say anything about not giving it. And he's trying to kind of kiss up to his boss, he's a voice actor. He sounds familiar. I really don't know his name, but by the way, Juliette Lewis is the Audrey's name in this one. She's the best Audrey because she's there basically, like, she's like, and she's kind of like a teenager, like, the other ones are more like caricatures, while she's more of like she doesn't stand out, but she doesn't stand in either. Like, without her, the movie would kind of be missing something, but at the same time, she's not giving much. And I'm fine with that. Girls don't always have to be the center of the movie. The girls don't always have to be the rambunctious, loud, anything. Like, girls can just be blah. Girls can just be there like guys are. That's what equality is. But I digress. So, while everyone's at the house, he's just like trying to keep Christmas together and in line, and he asks what's his face, his cousin, because the mom was like, I don't think he's gonna give his kids any Christmas presents, so ask them what they want and basically go Christmas shopping for them. And just like Cousin Eddie, he's like, you don't have to get me nothing. Since you asked, he gets this big old long list out and tells alphabetically what everyone wants for Christmas. Because he's a moocher. He's not dumb. He may play dumb, but he's no dummy. He is very smart, not intelligent. He's smart, because you can be street smart and not intelligent. And so he's basically shaking down his family because he doesn't want to work. He's lazy. And it's kind of jacked because they're the only representation that you see in this movie of people who don't have a lot of money. And they're making it seem like they're lazy and dumb. When they could have had like a side story where it could have been just like a thing where there was a struggling family that was working hard. I guess the Griswolds are that family, but they've got a big house. They got a big house in a nice neighborhood. They're not poor under any circumstances. They are not living paycheck to paycheck. You know what he wanted to do with the bonus? You know what my mom would do with the bonus? She'd pay bills. You know what I would do with a bonus? Pay bills. Chevy Chase, I keep calling him Chevy Chase, but his name's Clark in the movie. Clark was trying to build a underground pool. He wasn't trying to pay no bills. He wasn't upset. Like, he wasn't about to lose his house. He wasn't about to have his lights turned off. He wasn't about to be evicted like a lot of people are. Oh, and I forgot to mention, another thing that's kind of annoying is the fact that Chevy Chase has a nice family, comfortable life, and still he insists on looking at other women when he has a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, I really don't know if she's got blue eyes or not. She could have orange eyes for all I know. But his wife is blonde, I'm pretty sure. And he still looks at other women. It's just like it's a joke, it's a run-on gag. that there's a woman that keeps trying to talk to him every time. And I kind of like what they did in the other one. The only thing that made me chuckle in that vacation movie where Rusty's like the main character, is when he looks at the girl while he's driving, like Chevy Chase did, and then she gets demolished. She gets destroyed by a truck. That was hilarious. He's married. Why y'all do this? Like, don't get married if you're just gonna like go around and be like freaking a trash man. So Chevy Chase is trying to have a family Christmas with everyone's mom and dad there, and he puts up tree and puts up the lights and stuff, while his neighbors, who are like gross and are like very wealthy, they're all wealthy in this neighborhood. If your neighbors are wealthy, if the house next door to you is big, 9 times out of 10 your house is big, even if you don't have the same square footage. So the next bit are the lights. Chevy Chase, I don't know, he's got this thing where he has to have everything perfect. Like I said, he put the Christmas lights out and he told everyone to come outside in the cold to see him. And maybe you should probably turn the lights on before you do this. Oh, joy to the world. Like, I know he wants to reveal them and all that, but like, you could have turned them on before, taking everybody out of the house when they're old and crusty and it's cold and the kids are cold. No one wants that. So the sensible woman goes inside and follows the cables to the lights and actually finds the problem and flips the switch and the lights turn on and everybody's like not outside anymore because they were done waiting for Clark and his nonsense because they know he's gross. And the neighbors, who they switch back and forth to show, it's like a guy and his girlfriend, wife, maybe, and they're in the big old huge house with like nothing in it, and they're just like, they may be wealthy, but they've got no like Christmas spirit or pleasure in their life at all. They're just two sticks in the mud. So Chevy Chase in the morning, while everyone leaves, he gets stuck, I guess, in the attic. So he just looks at old Christmas. He reminisces. Every time you see like people, him be happy in this movie, just think something's gonna go wrong soon. So he gets some clothes in the attic and he puts it on like a mink stole or something, everybody's clothes, and then he looks through some old tapes and he watches them because he's just like trying to reminisce on old holidays and everybody, and he's like crying, and he's like, I want a happy Christmas, I want my family to have a happy Christmas. And everyone returns from Christmas shopping or whatever they were doing, and because it's funny because every single thing that happens in this movie has ultimately some payoff to it. Before he went and sat down and started watching stuff, he saw that someone put up there in the attic someone's Christmas presents. So they went to go get Christmas presents and they're coming back. And he's literally sitting on the door. So when they get home and they open the attic to put Christmas presents inside the attic, he falls through. And it's freaking hilarious. And dude is with the lights again, like I told you, what's her face goes in there and fixes the lights for him. She doesn't get any recognition. Most of women in history don't. But yeah, so it works. And he's like, nice. Like everything that he does is like sabotaged by himself. Like he always has something that's wrong. So everyone's happy. Everyone looks at the lights, and he grabs onto his mom or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's his mom, and he's like, yeah, and everyone's like, you did good, you done did good, and then that girl from Everyone Loves Raymond was like, yeah, and then the dog's like, woof, and everyone's happy, and everyone's looking at the tree, and then, like, there's different points where Chevy Chase speaks to his cousin, whoever's cousin he is, because that man can't be everyone's cousin. I really don't think he's even related to these people. I think he's just, like, there around them, because they give him free food every time he comes by. Like, honestly, I don't think this guy is even related to them. But, so, there are different points where he and his cousin speak, and it's just like, the payoff at the end is so great. Like, you can see that he's basically mooching off of them. But honestly, the mooching isn't really like it's not a big plot point. It's just a funny thing that happens, because it's just like he's trying to have like the best Christmas ever, and he's got to deal with this grown man and his family that he carried along, and he feels bad because it's just like, and then he says he's going to stay for a whole month, or he's going to stay until next month, but the whole thing, not next month as in January, next month as in February, like, but whatever. He goes back and forth to work, in home, setting up the end. Like I said, he's basically like, he's not asking for a Christmas bonus. He's not even saying, are we having Christmas bonuses? This would have all been cleared up if you would have just said, hey, the Christmas bonus, is it coming? It's not, you're not going to get fired for asking if you were going to have a Christmas bonus. You may be fired if you burn down the establishment, if they say we ain't getting no Christmas bonus, maybe. But as long as people don't know it's you, you good, you square. But I'm not saying do that. I'm saying Chevy Chase went to his work, Clark went to his work next to, and it's interesting, everyone is kissing up to him because they know about the Christmas bonus. There's like presents galore on this table, and like he can't even be bothered to even see his face and look at his face, his boss. He's just like, oh, put them with the others, in Frenchman's wave, as Hank Hill would say. And he just puts them with the others, and Chevy Chase is like, hee hee hee, tee hee hee, Christmas bonus, I'm gonna get my Christmas bonus, tee hee hee, when all he had to do is ask. So they go, and there's shenanigans outside, more talk with the cousin, and there's more slapstick humor with Chevy Chase. He's back at work, home. He's thinking about, well, when I get my Christmas bonus, I'm going to put a pool outside and everyone's going to be there. And he's just imagining his whole family there. And then here we go. The girl that he always sees. Like, there's always a girl that he plays games and looks at. And looking is not cheating. But if you're thinking about something with the person that you're looking at, that is cheating. That's like, oh, I don't want to, like, okay, you don't want your, like, let's get real. Let's get real, because y'all love to be fake. Guys love it when they be like, oh, we wasn't exclusive, we wasn't this. But if you say hey, and a girl says hey to another guy, so I saw you say hey to Tyrone, like, please stop. That's not professional and pathetic. It's not simping when you are just nice to a girl or even kind. And it is most, in fact, scummy to only be kind to girls that you are trying to be with. And it's also scummy to be involved with a woman and still be extra nice to other women. What do you guys not understand? Everything you put upon yourself, put upon to others. I'm not a religious person, but you know what? Religion, for the most basic standard of religion, because religion has been used in cults, in horrible, to justify horrible things, but at the base level of everything is what it's supposed to be used for. It's supposed to be used for your moral compass. You're supposed to actually have something that stops you from doing something, if not just the fact that you're a decent human being. Decent is, I guess, subjective. in this day and age. But I digress. So, dude, he's outside oogling over a pool that he doesn't have and a woman that he doesn't have either. And then the kids come downstairs and he's just like, he is trying to make her feel better because she's like, well, Santa never comes to our trailer or Santa never comes to our house or whatever because they're po. They's po. So, like, Santa never gives them presents because Santa Claus only comes to rich people's house. And because he could only go to the rich houses. But, so another tussle with the people outside next door, neighbors, and then this dude is like, he's dumping his waste into like the ground from the RV when, first of all, you should have did that before you went to this guy's house. Second of all, you could have totally used the bathroom in their house so that you wouldn't have to do that, especially in some big old huge neighborhood. But in this movie, you barely see Chevy Chase and his, like, you see more scenes with his cousin than him and with his wife. She's kind of like stapled back, but she's usually stuck to his side. So I like the fact that she gets to like go with other places and not be in a scene with him in order to actually speak words. But so everybody is sitting down for Christmas dinner, and if things couldn't get any worse, the turkey is all dry because Uncle Eddie or Cousin Eddie's wife can't cook. And why didn't they let someone else cook the turkey? But whatever. So the cat, like, sets himself on fire because he's playing with the lights and the outlets and stuff. And then the tree's caught on fire and everything's horrible. And with all that being said, dude comes to the door and is like, hey, this little note fell between the seats, and I'm sorry that it got here too late. And I'm just like, okay. So he could have known that he wasn't going to get a bonus earlier if it weren't for that dude. And he was rude to that dude. He didn't even say thank you, just closed the door on him. Even though he didn't have to give it to him on Christmas. He could have been with his family. He just closed the door on him, and that was the end of that. He straight up, like, did that. And then he, like, opens it, and then come to find out, he's not getting a Christmas bonus. Surprise, surprise. That's why you shouldn't spend money you don't have yet. So he did. He spent money he didn't have. And then, when all was said and done, he was like, you know what I want for Christmas? I want my boss here basically hogtied in front of me for no reason. Because he could have asked him instead of kissing up to him the whole time. He should have asked him, hey, we getting our Christmas bonuses? Because, you know, I got stuff I got to pay. He didn't even have to tell him what it's about or what he was going to get the money for. Like, he should have just been like, we getting our Christmas bonus? Yeah, nah. And then he would have known, but nah. So Uncle Eddie, because he ain't got a dollar to his name, he was looking all up in the bill to see, oh, let's see what he got, because he was hoping it was his Christmas bonus. Everyone was gathered around thinking that it was his Christmas bonus. But you know what? He redeems himself like 1% by driving his family's home to, how does he even know his boss's address, to go grab him. And then later when the wife comes to their house with the cops because her husband has been kidnapped, straight up, like, they go to their house. How did they know that he went there? If she saw him leave with her husband and somehow figured out where he was going, how'd the cops get there before? But whatever. So cousin Eddie brings the boss, and he's all tied up with a bow like he asked. And Clark was like, "Oh, it's my fault. I was mad." Like, it's not your fault. Cousin Eddie shouldn't have grabbed him. Oh my gosh. You didn't. Just because someone says they want something doesn't mean you run out and go do that. You compensate if it's something terrible. So, like, everything's fine because it was a misunderstanding. And then the wife is like, "Oh, I can't believe you would cut their stuff." It's like, girl, you know good and well you wanted extra stuff for Christmas, and they're like, not like it's her fault that he cut their money, but I'm pretty sure he wanted the money, and they're both rich and they're both money hungry, so all's well that ends well. That's basically it. Yeah, this is day 8, you know. The next one is going to be Home Alone. And then Fred Claus, I do believe, will be the next one. But don't quote me on that. Like, subscribe. If you enjoyed, please, I suggest watching Christmas Vacation. All the National Lampoons are pretty funny. Christmas Vacation 2 is trash, garbage, send it to misery. Don't watch it, please. Thank you. Happy holidays.